Hi. I know this is a really weird time to go live, but I promised myself I would go live today before I went to bed. So it is like 12:07 a.m. on the East Coast. So if you're on the West Coast, it's 9 o'clock. If you are in Europe, it might be 6 a.m. if you're in Spain or Portugal or Italy or something like that. It's super late. It is. I got a late start, okay? How you doing, Salsi? But I look like a rock star. Thank you. Give me just 1 second. Let me set up another light because it still looks a little bit dull. Let me set up a little bit more lighting. And really what I'm coming on for today is, as usual, just having conversation. You guys, if you have singing questions or anything like that, feel free to come on and ask. No questions are dumb. Okay, hopefully this is a little bit better. I think that's better. I think that's better. Hey, Saucy is on the line. Hi, Eddie. Do I like Al Jarreau? Yeah, I think I like him more musically than vocally, but I like him. You had your alarm for 11 p.m. Your alarm for what? To go to bed? Thank you. You like my red hair? What do I think of countertenors? I don't know if I have an opinion on countertenors. I think countertenors sound like sopranos and altos. I think they can be just as good or bad as any other singer. That's what I think of countertenors. I can't say, that's like asking me what I think of contraltos. Like, are they good? You know? Oh, my live. Yeah, so the crazy thing is I had my alarm set for 9, but I was involved in a very nice conversation. So it ended up going longer than I expected. But I did not want to go to bed without having this at all. So what did I think of the Clark Sisters movie, specifically Kiara? I thought Kiara did fine. You guys, I don't know what am I supposed to think of it? I think it was fine. I think she did great. I think she did great. I think the ensemble was better than the parts, right? It was kind of like the whole is greater than the parts. And I think in the Clark Sisters movie, it wasn't, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 1 is 5. I felt like 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 was like 10. You know what I mean? That's how I felt about it. It was greater than the sum of its parts. That's how I felt. The ensemble was great. I appreciate you, Salsi. Hi, Tori. You're watching from Thailand. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. You love my reactions. Thank you. I'm so glad you like my reactions. What is this? Oh, yeah, another lighting. Sorry. It's just there. I am so grateful that you like my reactions because I feel a little bit boring. I think sometimes you guys want my reactions to be bigger, or I don't know, maybe you're used to watching people who are like really just exaggerative and dramatic. And I am not, I listen to singing all day, every day. So if you want something that's going to excite me, it might excite me like the first time. Don't expect it to excite me like 10 times. Unless it's Whitney, of course. My hair is dope. You're surprised I did this color? I guess I'm surprised. No, I'm surprised I have this color too. I wanted this color. I was too scared to ask for it, but I didn't ask for this color. My stylist gave it to me anyway. I guess she knew that's what I really wanted. I don't know, but I like it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Did you know that they are making a Whitney biopic called I Want to Dance with Somebody in the Dark? No, I did not know that. I did not know that. But I think I've watched every Whitney film that has come out. So, of course, I will be there. They did like 2 Whitney movies, at least 2. Cut to the Chase. That is what Lisa Cut to the Chase. And a lot of my favorite Whitney performance. My favorite Whitney, I mean, she has so many great performances, but there was that one in South Africa where she was like, she was doing all this. No. Mate. It was great. That was my favorite Whitney performance. Oh, thanks for watching. So, hi, Keontae. Oh gosh, so many questions are coming through on YouTube. Let me see. Hi, Eric. Did I become less active? Because, in short, life happened, and I wanted to come on here happy and inspired, and I was not inspired for a very long time. So I didn't want to just go through the motions. I wanted to really love what I was doing. So that's why I stopped. I mean, I didn't do YouTube. Like, I didn't have a business plan when I started YouTube, right? I did it because I just love talking about singing and I love talking about music. And if I lost that inspiration, I'm just like a true creative, right? It's just kind of like, if you don't have it in you, you're just not going to do it. And that's just where I was. I look great. Thank you. I have been doing really well. I've been doing really well. Thank God. Thank you for asking. You made it. Hi, Tasia. You loved me singing When You Touch Me. Thank you. I feel like I only like really halfway sang it, but I appreciate that you guys appreciated that because, you know, I was hoping that people wouldn't like tear it apart. So it's cool. Thank you. That's actually still my favorite song. I don't know if I'm in the right key. Hi, Pastor Gary Gordon. Why is my English accent so terrible? Miss you, baby. And the way that you touch me, I can hardly wait. I don't know. When you touch me, I feel like it can be limiting to tell young singers their voice types, and then they get convinced that they can't do certain things, and it's really not true. I completely agree. Do you know what makes me roll my eyes in a voice lesson? When a young singer or just a new singer says, so, can you tell me my voice type? I'm like, if I tell you your voice type, you're going to Google it. Then you're going to be like, oh, cool. So these are my breaks. This is this is that. So then what's going to happen is every time you can't do something, you're going to be like, what note is that? Oh, that's my break. That's why I can't do it. Yep. Well, I Googled it and it said that these are the notes I'm going to have trouble singing. So there's that. And then you're going to be like, you said I was a mezzo. So why are we even doing soprano notes? Because that's not my thing. So I just thought I shouldn't even be singing high. Right. So yes, and the same can be true for lower voice. Well, you said I'm a lyric baritone. So aren't lyric baritones like, isn't their highest note like a G4? So then why are we even trying? It's like, bruh, just develop the voice. Take the labels off. You're not doing any Wagnerian operas anytime soon. So it doesn't matter. Just master your voice and let the chips fall where they may. Can we do that? Can we just explore? Saucy said that's low key her during a lesson. I know you guys do all this research and you come with all this Google knowledge, and it's so there's so many holes. There's so many holes. And it's like you want me to kind of go on this ride with you with all this partial information. And I just can't. I can't do it. Okay. How do you find your unique timbre and voice? Good question. I have the same way with my students when I teach lessons. How do you find your unique timbre and voice? Your unique timbre is just, I think the first place to start is how you speak, right? If you have this one dread, it's doing the same thing it was doing last week. Okay. Excuse me, I don't know what that was. I choked on my spit. But I think a good place to start is your speaking voice, because usually we speak very naturally. A lot of us do, and most of us speak really naturally without a lot of affectations of what we think we should sound like. And so I think we should kind of start from there. So like if you're talking voice, let's say, obviously the way that I sound, then if I sing, that's really just an extension of my speaking bit and elongated the note, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It looked like I kind of buzzed in and out of the connection just now. So I apologize for that. Do you think baritone tenors can make a place in pop music, be as respected as the sought after tenors? How does it come? Baritone tenors, I guess you mean baritenors. I think baritenors would make great pop singers. I think there are great singers with lower voices. I don't think the music industry gets singers that they respect. So that's to say, I don't think those who aren't getting the shine or the play they deserve is because there's a lack of respect. I just think that the music industry has mastered what will sell, and that most people just like high-pitched voices. And there's always the one anomaly, right? There's always that one Barry White, or that one Cher, or that one Sinead O'Connor. I think, no, scratch Sinead O'Connor, or Tracy Chapman. There's that in a sea full of bright voices. Why is my connection unstable? Well, we did have a storm earlier, so I think it's acting weird. I'm so sorry, YouTube, if my connection is unstable. There was a storm earlier, so I apologize if it's cutting in and out. You still have I Need You on repeat? Oh my God, thank you. You said all they care about is tone. All they care about is tone in the music industry. They just want to kind of hear like a child. I don't want to say childish voice, but a really youthful voice. And usually deeper voices denote maturity. And so that kind of would limit your audience, right? And limit the fun songs that you could sing. Like they feel like if your voice is darker, then the content needs to be more mature. That's usually how that goes. Hi, Kyle, yours truly. Thank you. You can't wait to do your last world tour, Victor Bradshaw. Okay, awesome. Do you believe that being a baritone is a curse? No, I think baritones have beautiful voices. You just have to find your place. People are they gravitate to high notes no matter what. That's just what that is. Do you see the notes in your head while you're singing? No, I do not have perfect pitch. Absolutely not. No. I barely have relative pitch. If I had perfect pitch, I would have done so well in oral skills. I do not. I wish I did. I have a client who has perfect pitch, and he pretty much sight reads. We're doing Italian songs, and I don't really think he practices that much. He literally just sight reads. He barely listens to the song. This is Italian, and he just sight reads because he has perfect pitch. He actually gets on my nerves. Do you think that being classically trained gives you an advantage? Oh my goodness, yes, it gives me an advantage in singing contemporary music big time. Oh my gosh. Learning classical music opened me up. I feel like it opened me up to the world. I didn't realize how much I did not know until I started singing classical music. And I felt like over the last 2 years, I am a better contemporary singer now than I was 2 years ago before I started, because I just have a better understanding of how to engage my vocal folds in order to create the sound that I want. It's kind of like, well, if I want this, I'll do this. If I want that, I'll do that. So I have a more intricate knowledge on how to manipulate my vocal folds and just the whole mechanism, the whole singing mechanism. I just have a much deeper and more detailed understanding of it now than I did 2 years ago. So yes, oh my gosh, especially the last 2 years, I just feel like exponentially learned so much more. I'm very, very grateful that I went through with getting more education. My bestie has perfect pitch, but here's the catch. She can only identify songs if it's in the original key. That is strange. I've never heard that. You master your voice individually. How do you master your voice individually? You master your voice individually just by, I guess, singing, right? Like just singing, getting voice lessons, singing all kinds of genres. But really getting voice lessons, because I've heard people who skip from genre to genre and they're not getting better as they do it. Hi, someone said, hey, Queen, hi. They're not getting better. They're just sounding bad in every genre. So definitely you need some voice lessons. It's very hard to self diagnose and teach, for sure. Like I'm itching to go back to my voice teachers because I'm sure that I have fallen off in the last 3 months. I have never heard of that. Divinité du Si or Liberame. I don't even know what language that is. Is that French or I don't even know what that is. Someone said, what's a good vocal routine that I recommend? A good vocal routine? My top 3, let's say, vocal exercises. Let me put it like this. My top 3 vocal exercises are lip trills, humming slides, what are my top 3? And that one. Ooh, yes. I did not sing all day. That was my first time singing today. But I generally sing every day because I teach 5 days a week. So I end up singing every day. Saturdays and Sundays, I generally try not to sing. I try not to speak at all Saturdays and Sundays. I will talk on the phone or something like that, but I try not to use my voice too much because those are my recuperation days. For sure. Those are my recoup days. Now I don't care. I just do it my voice. Oh, I love that. Baritone voice actually have the ability to hit really high falsetto. I think everyone should. I love that. Yes, everyone should know their highest note and their lowest note and just master your voice. And the truth is you don't even have to know your highest note or your lowest note because as you master your voice, that will change. Your range will grow in both directions as you get to be a better singer. So it's not even about finding your highest note or finding your lowest note. Mastering the middle voice is actually going to expand your range. So that's what I'm saying. Master your vocal technique. And everything will come together. There you go. I was just making something stupid up. Hi, Deanna Dixon. How are you, daughter? Daughter. We have Deanna Dixon on the line from the singers room, the singers room. She's such an awesome woman, entrepreneur, and singer. She's amazing. You guys should follow her. Have you made lifestyle changes for your voice? Oh my gosh, I have made lifestyle changes for my voice. I have had to get more sleep, number one. I have had to change the way I speak. That's probably the biggest lifestyle choice I had to make for my voice. Speaking off the voice more and kind of more sing-songy. That was a huge lifestyle change I made for my voice. What other lifestyle change? I mean, I already drank a lot of tea. Working out is really good for my voice. Working out, it just kind of warms the voice and it makes you not have to work so hard in the warm-up process. So definitely that. I think that's changing the way I speak. Hi, Sean, baby. I think changing the way I speak. This is another phenomenal singer on my line right now, Sean Bigby. I'm rolling with the big dogs tonight. But the way that I talk was probably the biggest lifestyle change. Changing the way that I speak was huge because once I changed the way I speak, I didn't have to spend as much time warming up and I was able to access my higher notes in the fifth octave in belt much more regularly. And then my head voice, which went up to the sixth octave, was a lot easier to reach as well. I had a Martin moment just now, Gianni. I don't know which one it is. How do you know if a voice teacher is right for you? That's tough. I can just say I was blessed with great voice teachers, but I don't know. That's a good question. I'd say I don't know because when I got my first two voice teachers, my first one I was 17 and I was in high school, and the second one I was 18 and I had just got to college. And I thought both of them were stupid. I thought both of them didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, why are we doing this? These are not real voice lessons. I am not singing real songs. Like the first guy had me doing the wall push-ups. The other lady had me doing all these humming exercises. And I was like, everybody else around here singing Mozart. And she got me up in here singing these little hymn songs or whatever. But that was all my voice can handle. So I think when you're in the very beginning, it probably is really difficult to discern because you don't even know what you're looking for. You just know you want to get better. And that's why I wish that the vocal industry was a lot more regulated. Because it's, how do you know? You don't know what you don't know at that point. I'm glad you guys think I'm funny. I think I'm funny. So, it's tough. I wish I could say, well, you're getting better. You picked the right person if you're getting better, but that's something that takes time, right? And a lot of times you're not getting better because you're in your own way. So again, with my initial times with voice teachers where they were both perfectly fine, I thought they were idiots. But looking back, they were giving me exactly what I needed at the time. And because of my resistance to it and feeling like they're not getting to what I want them to talk about, I felt like they weren't good. So I think it has to go back to learning about that voice teacher's education and their background, and really getting them to talk about the voice. Like when I do vocal consultations, if they say, you know what, I'm really struggling with breathing, and, you know, I'm always running out of breath. So I think I'm struggling with breathing. And then they start singing. And then I go, oh, okay, you're not actually struggling with breathing. The way you breathe in is completely fine. But you do have some hypofunctional phonation where your vocal cords aren't coming together properly. So you're wasting a lot of air. And that's why you're unable to phrase properly and get to the ends of your phrases. Okay, so now I've proven that I understand the mechanics of the voice, and I'm able to diagnose and give you not only what you're doing wrong, but then I can say, and here is the plan of action that's going to get you where you need to be. If a vocal teacher can't do that, and then you ask them like, oh, okay, well, what kind of exercises do we do? Oh, well, we're going to do humming exercises and we're going to do lip trills. Ask them why. Why are we doing that? I mean, because that's what we do, because it's a voice lesson. No, why are we doing that? Because a voice teacher should be able to say, we are doing that because we want your voice to be placed forward. And when you focus on the lip trills, it helps you to bring the voice high, or it helps you to do proper chord closure without stressing out your voice. And also, while we're doing it, I want you to focus on feeling like that air is buzzing right around your cheekbones. Whatever the case is, and the reason why we do the hum is because we want the voice to feel connected, and we want the voice to feel this. Like, they should be able to articulate why we are doing these exercises, because you're not paying $100 an hour, $200 an hour for a sing along. You are paying for training. So they need to have a purpose behind every single thing that they do. And if they're unable to explain that, then you know very quickly that this is not a real voice teacher. This person might be good at giving you tips and tricks and style stuff. Like, I think you should put a little more vibrato there. I think you should be louder there. I think you should be more passionate here. Things like that. But a real voice teacher, nah, probably not. That's why I prefer to call myself a voice teacher than a vocal coach. I am also a vocal coach. I can get you through a song. I am a stylist. I can do all of that, a vocal stylist. But at the core, I am a technique voice teacher. I actually build the voice. You don't have to come with your voice already built, and now we're just trying to make the song sound good. Like, I am a voice teacher. So that was such a long explanation. I apologize. Aside from singing, what do I find myself interested in? Hold on. Somebody said you have to breathe through your nose instead of your mouth when singing. You should try that. I don't know how it's going to work. Is a husky voice better than a raspy voice? To me, they're the same thing. Hi from Huánuco, Peru. Hola. Thoughts on Jade Nova? I think she's amazing. I think she's brilliant, actually. You've been listening to Leontine Price? Apparently, they've been showing her on the Met for free lately. No more than an hour. No more than an hour as far as practice daily. I find myself interested in, okay, so lately I've been reading books on Christianity, where it relates to African Americans and how the African American has been attacked for their faith in Jesus Christ, because it's the white man's religion, and the Muslims said it's this religion, and when really it's an ancient African religion. So I've been really looking into that. Yeah, so I find myself really interested in stuff like that. I watch YouTube videos on how to apply makeup. I don't know. Oh, drop the books? Yes. Hold on 1 second. I will. Give me just a second. Your range will grow. Your range will totally grow. And it will be beautiful if if once you start training. How do you describe a countertenor voice? I would just describe it as a male with a soprano or a mezzo soprano voice. Is there such a thing as excessive warm-ups before an event? Yes, there is. There is. You can warm up so long that you tire out your voice. Absolutely. Is your diction and word pronunciation better because of your singing? I think my diction and yes, yes. But I think that yes. I definitely think I speak more like a singer now. Like when you listen to opera singers like Jessie Norman and how she talked like this, you know. Singers are really particular about diction, and once you've sung in French for 20 minutes at a time, in Italian and German for all 20, 30 minutes at a time, you naturally start to take more care with your diction without even thinking about it. I would say the safe exercises for people with vocal damage, it goes right back to the humming exercises, the humming slides, and the lip trills. That's what I have. That is what a speech pathologist would do. So that would be where you would start. Mr. Big B says, how many times have I had to relearn my voice? Well, I thought I knew my voice when I was 18, and then I got to college and realized I didn't. And then I had two children between the ages of 21 and 23. So at 23, I needed to relearn my voice. I had to relearn my voice. And then I had another child when I was 30, and I had to relearn it again. And I thought I knew my voice after that. And then I got into the master's program and I realized, oh crap, there's more. So what was that? 4 times? 4 times? Yeah. My voice is hard from a huge argument. You should rest your voice and stop yelling at your parents. No. Speaking off the voice is not what Michelle does. Michelle sounds like she's sucking in helium. Speaking off the voice it's more like you're kind of sing-songing like this. So here's this book I was talking about, Defending Black Faith, Answers to Tough Questions About African American Christianity by Craig Keener and Glenn Usry. If somebody wants to put that, it's called, I know it's backwards, Defending Black Faith. That's one. And Thomas Oden, Dr. Thomas Oden, and I know it's backwards, I'm sorry, How Africa Shaped the Christian Mind. That's what I'm interested in when I'm not singing. Joe Thomas is one of the best singers on the planet. That's what I think about Joe Thomas. Yes. Do I still think Joe Thomas is a great singer? Have you heard Joe? Joe Thomas is a great singer. Point blank and the period. When you turn 30, you completely had to relearn your voice over again. What? Yeah, it does. It does keep revolving. I mean, as we, I guess, age or go through different changes in our lives, our voices kind of go through that with us, you know? And for women, definitely the hormonal changes that come along with having children. And, you know, when you're between the ages of 20 and 30, you're a different person. So your voice is different. And then between the ages of 30 and 40, you're going through changes again. It's just going to continue to happen. You have to keep evolving with your voice, you know? The worst thing you can do is stop singing. I think when you stop singing, that's when you feel like, okay, I don't even know where to start now. Just keep singing no matter what. Hi, Alan Lewis. I'm fine, thank you. You rewatched my life. Oh my goodness. You watched my live stream of the rise and fall of Whitney Houston so many times. I learned a lot from that video and gained respect for her. She had one of the greatest voices ever. It still blows my mind how your voice used to be dark and now it's bright. That's hilarious. Yeah, I just kind of I find it more advantageous to sing bright. There's less transitions I have to make. But oh my gosh, that video of me singing, this is the air I breathe. My voice was so dark in that video. So dark. I was like, whoo. I was scared singing that song too. It was so dark. I was afraid that I wasn't going to hit any of the notes. So that's what I'm saying. I just prefer for everything to just be nice and bright so I can stay nice and flexible. I love Carl Thomas. I love a cup of Joe. I love me some Joe. Favorite vocal element or trick? I don't know what that means. What's my favorite vocal trick? Okay. My favorite vocal trick, obviously, is runs, right? But what I like about runs, because people think my runs are cool, and my runs to me aren't really that complicated. They just sound complicated because I do cool things. So my favorite thing is, number one, I figured out that if you can do a 3-note run, you can do any run. So, usually people struggle with that. Then what makes it really cool is when you re-articulate a note, it makes the run sound interesting and complicated without you actually having to find another note. My bad. So then let's say you add a note on top of that. Right? But then let's say you want to change that 3-note run into a 4-note run. Then you could add a 5th note. Oops, hold on. Right? Or 6. So I think the double articulation is my favorite thing because it just adds like a certain pizzazz to a note without you having to do any moving at all. Thank you, Autumn. Go into detail about why Joe Thomas is great because he's a flat foot singer. I don't even know. Do I have to go into detail? Do we know how Joe sounds? Joe is just dope. He's just a great singer. Like, he's a singer's singer. He's what singers sound like. He's what singers sound like. I don't know what else to say. He's a singer. He's an actual singer. Some people are recording artists, right? They lay something down in the studio and then an engineer doctors it up and they go home and then they wake up the next day and they're number one on the Billboard. Then you have singers. Joe is a singer. That's why we love Joe. I don't know. It's 12:45 in the morning. That's all I have for you. He's great. Voice don't change. Mr. Big B, your voice is going to change again. I think the best thing any singer can do for their voice, I promise you, is humming slides. That's going to keep your voice flexible. It's going to help you keep your high notes. It's going to help keep your voice forward, help keep the luster, because what we lose as we age is like that luster in our voice, but you lose it even faster if you're always, if your onset is always really aggressive. So that's why I put out that video the other day, like kind of just back off the sound a little bit, like figure out how much force do I actually need for this note to come out beautifully, and then do that. Okay, don't always go for the jugular all the time, every time. So if you're having a problem with your mixed voice, I have a problem with my mixed voice being too light. It doesn't have power or sound natural. It sounds very not like my voice. I can't really say based on what you're saying. Everyone's interpretation of what their voice is, not necessarily what it is. You might think it's your mixed voice, but you might really be in a head voice setting, or I couldn't say unless I heard it. Hair care products, I barely put shea butter and coconut oil, and then I have like tea tree oil for my scalp and like peppermint oil and stuff like that for my scalp. For my hair, it's just all natural stuff. I'm not fussy at all. If you didn't notice, it could go either way with my hair. The dreads is the best thing that ever happened to me because I would have just cut it all off. How did I learn runs? I credit LaShawn Pace for teaching me my first run. I know I've been changed. I studied that run for like a year. And it was all from there. Then I think the next person's run, I was really studying. Richard Smallwood, Marette Brown Clark. Nothing but angels watching over me. That, and I think that other lady named Vanessa Bell sang Angels. Unseen hands guiding me through my storm and through my rain. Oh, healing hands. So stuff like that. Then, of course, there was like Kim Burrell, Karen Clark Sheard, Dorinda Clark Cole. Oh my God, she's amazing. But number one, the first person was LaShawn Pace. Yep. Taught me my first run. Can we get a talent show soon? I guess. You know what, Saucy? Help me put together a talent show. Saucy is like young and fresh and knows how to do stuff like that. I don't know how to do that. But if you teach me how to do a talent show, Saucy, I'll do a talent show. Okay? Because Saucy's really good with that. Yes, you need to start doing my skincare routine, pretty much urban skin RX. I do a lot of stuff with that, but I also do masks like sea moss masks, like the sea moss I drink. Sometimes I just put it on my face and let it sit. But then I actually have real masks. I have the pink clay mask. Sometimes I just put honey in my face, like that. It just, if I want something moisturizing, I'll do sea moss or honey. But if I want something that's like gonna like burn off the first layer of skin, then it'll be like an enzyme mask. I just do a bunch of stuff, but I did get a couple pimples and I can't resist. I always have to pop them, so then it ends up bad again. I'm looking 24, 25. Thank you. I get my sea moss from Amazon. Vanessa Williams. Oh, isn't she so good? Angels is the dopest song. How many exercise example? Yeah, sure. Hold on. And after this, I'm gonna answer some questions on YouTube as well. So how many exercise examples? Like you can either go from the 1 to the 5 or the 1 to the 8. You can turn anything into a humming exercise really, but like or oops, or because then that turns into keeps it really forward. Okay, so a couple questions here on YouTube. You've watched most of my older videos. I don't even know what I said in those videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very interested in social and cultural differences in singing. For example, language informs play. Oh my gosh, language. So you must be a vocal teacher. You asked me a question. Oh yeah. I'll get to it. Are you a vocal teacher, Mariah? Or is that your name, Mariah? I think that's how you say it, Mariah Watkins. Oh yeah, language definitely informs, and I actually prefer how the English language helps with vocal placement. I think particularly the American accent really helps with vocal placement in a way that the British accent doesn't, and no other accent really helps. Spanish and Italian may be the next best because they're kind of nasal, but still they're too nasal. So nothing really achieves that poppy, bright sound like the American accent. So it's interesting dealing with a Nigerian who, you know, they have these big open vowels and then they sing that way. And then there's this ceiling that they keep hitting. There's an airiness, there's a darkness, all these things that you kind of have to undo. Carl's your favorite male singer? That's cool. My vocal type, interestingly enough, is a lyric soprano. I might, if I really, really push it, I might be a lyric coloratura. And I've done coloratura stuff. I just don't love learning coloratura stuff because it's just like so many notes. But I can do it. You know, rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. That's all I know. Rejoice. I don't know. I don't know. Do classical singers ever disrespect or downplay pop, R&B, gospel, or otherwise non-classical singers? Not anymore. 20 years ago, yes, absolutely. 20 years ago, they were so stuck up about being classical singers and not doing jazz. Like, you know, like, do you know my name? Why would I ever do that? But now they don't do that anymore. Now, classical teachers understand that the majority of their students are not going to be classical singers. They're learning classical techniques so that they can apply it to musical theater or pop or rock or whatever. Oh my God, I have superstars on my live. I'm gonna go throw up. I'm gonna go throw up now. I'm gonna go throw up now. Miss Arnetta Merrill is on my live. If I'm correct, and I used to sing your solo, if I am correct, don't you sing Usher Me? And don't you sing When the Saints Go to Worship? Donald Lawrence? I literally used to lead those songs when I was in my group. I love you too. Oh my God. I have famous people on my live. I have famous people on my live. Oh, and I am God. Okay. I could cry, honestly. I'm just not going to, but I could cry because oh my gosh. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to cry. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, thank you. I've admired you since I was like 17. And then you started following me and I really tried to play it cool. But now you're on my live and now my eyes are tearing up. I'm hot now. Okay. I mean, have you guys heard this woman sing? Oh my gosh. It's like unduplicatable. Usher me into the presence of the Lord. Oh, usher me. You find Beyonce runs to be rounded rather than scaled. I'm not even sure I know what that means. How do you know you have a beautiful tone? I don't know. I don't know how you know if you have a beautiful tone or not. Where my healing can begin. Oh, usher me. I don't know the rest. Oh no. There my it is all will win. Ooh, usher me. I need to be restored. Usher me into the presence of the Lord. I'm hot now. What are your thoughts? I'm sorry, I'm totally fanning out, and I'm really trying to move on. I'm really trying to move on here. But I'm like, oh, let me put the fan on because I'm hot. We may have cheat codes. He was there. What is it? I was there in the beginning, and I'll be there until the end. I'm all seeing, all knowing, almighty. Everything I am, oh, I am God. Yes, Miss Arnetta. Oh my God, you have no idea. You're a legend. I just want you to know. If you didn't know, you're a legend. You're a legend. I could cry. I'm really just trying not to cry. That's all. I'm just trying not to cry. So anyway, try not to cry. Trick to lower your sound. Hit your lowest note, then drop your jaw, and it goes an octave lower. Who told you that? That's not true. That is no, throw that trick away. Whoever told you that, if you're even doing that yourself, don't do it. I don't know what that means, but don't do it. Felice's active. If you grow up with somebody's voice and you're always just like, you know exactly who that person's name is and their voice is so distinctive, like she has such a distinctive voice, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's awesome. No, the trick to singing lower sounds is actually not, don't force it. I know what you mean by the octave thing, but lower tones need, even though they still need to be supported, they don't need as much support as your notes like an octave above it need, nor do they need as much space. And I think that's where people mess up. So right? That's lower. I can go right now. I don't know what that is. But I was able to go lower than I was when I had my throat too open and I was pushing the sound too hard. That was the point. Yeah. Yeah, Big B, you understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you watch somebody from afar for so long and you study their voice because you're studying the song they sang so you could sing it, and then they show up, you're like, what? You know how hard I work to try to sound like you? Who's Daily? I don't even know who that is. Can you have a yes. I think you can have a naturally beautiful voice. And I think the ones with naturally beautiful voices are the ones who will do the best, honestly. Because you can't buy your tone, right? Your tone can't be purchased. You can purchase the technique, you can train your technique, but the people with gorgeous voices and great technique, let's talk classically, the ones with great voices and great technique are the ones that are going to go the furthest. Because people love beautiful voices. Then the ones who have great voices and terrible techniques still go far. Let's talk. I mean, look at Christina Aguilera. Great voice, bad technique. Doesn't matter. She's a gazillionaire. You know what I mean? Great voice. She has a beautiful voice. It's indispensable. Indispensable. When you hear yourself back on you, do you be like, damn, I'm good? You made me curse. I wasn't ready for that. Sometimes the truth is, yes, sometimes I'd be like, dang, I did that. Let me hear that again. First run you learned, yeah, Kimberell has some fire runs for sure. Cast me not away from thy presence, oh God. I don't even want to keep going. I might mess up. Take not thy Holy Spirit from, something like that, me. Holy Ghost, fall down on me. When you are studying to sing someone's song, how much do you study and how much do you look to reinterpret the song and make it yours? Well, for me, reinterpreting the song was really always a matter of necessity, not so much me looking to reinterpret songs, especially when I was younger, because I didn't have the power. I didn't have the high chest voice at all. That was probably the last thing to develop and the hardest thing for me to develop. I was really a head voice soprano, and I just kept getting thrown all of these really difficult songs, probably just because I had a nice tone, you know? So I knew going in that I was going to have to reinterpret the song. Now I listen for the idea behind the song. Like, okay, what is the artistic intention? And then now I just reinterpret everything for my voice. And that's not to say that I take away from the artistic intention of the song, but I do find spaces in every song, and I look for spaces that I can have my signature in it. You know, even if it's like rise up, broken down and tired, living life on a merry-go-round. I don't think she does that on a merry-go-round. So I think that's like a Delisa signature thing, you know? Oh, I have 41 seconds left on this, so I'm going to have to call you guys back. Yeah, she's extremely complicated. She screams like a banshee. You guys are so funny. I'm going to hang up and I'm going to call back. Oh, my bad. You guys are still here. Sorry, it was taking a second. I was just like, what's happening? Um, I sound so different from my chest mix as well. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to see what this is doing real quick. Let's see. When you hear yourself back on, oh, okay, yeah, I saw that. I've learned that I'm a lyric tenor, but I struggle mixing. I can see that. Kimberell is ridiculous. I still can't just, you know, speed through it. I have to. Let's see. Okay. So on Kimberell, can we talk about this? I don't think her upper register is new. I don't think, I'm sorry if you asked this question a while ago and I'm just seeing it, but I don't think her upper register is new. If you listen to her very first album in 1996, Kimberell was pretty darn high. I think that over time, she kind of wasn't singing that way, and now she's gotten back to singing really high. But it did seem like it came out of nowhere after like what 10, 15 years of not singing that way. Kim had to talk with Jesus about her range. Y'all are so ridiculous. People call in and sing for me. Who wants to call in and sing for me? Who do I want to see in concert? I am very disappointed that I have never seen Anita Baker. I may want to see Beyonce once. I want to see Bruno Mars. Mint Condition. Thinking. I don't know. Sure. Okay, so whoever y'all want me to react to, send that email to Dileesa@gmail.com, Dileesa@gmail.com. I find it interesting how the variations. Let me just parenthetically say, the way that you all spell all my videos and spell it Diliza, and I'm like, wow, that really creative. What is this? Oh yeah. Well, that's not true. A tone can be beautiful with bad pitch, and I feel like it's such a loss for that person who has pitch issues but has a really pretty tone, because I've heard that, and to me, it's just a disaster. What did I say? What did I say? Uh, 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 oh yeah, that's it. It's such a loss when you hear somebody with a really pretty voice who doesn't have good tone. Oh, the name thing. Yeah, it's like when they have a really pretty tone, really pretty voice, but then they can't match pitch. I'm just like, you have such a pretty voice and you'll never be a singer. That sucks. Hi, Annie Dama. He said, hey, dear, I'm here. I am still taking students. I actually just opened up an extra day, so I have a little more space in my calendar now than I have for the last couple of months. Yes. Dileesa.com, Dileesa. I've gotten Deleasa. Oh my gosh. It's unbelievable. Delecia. And it's on social media. So my name is right there. Like while you're commenting, it'll say comment to Dileesa or something like that. And I'm just amazed. I'm amazed. What? The ghetto commenting on your video. It happens all the time. I know it's different, but it's really not. You know what I'm saying? It's different, but it's phonetically spelled Dileesa, Dileesa, Dileesa. If you know how to do that, you will always find me. We just been hi Pune, you just got in. We've been talking, just talking about talking. Here, tell us how to do vocal dieting to help tone and the voice during the day. What do I eat and drink? Well, I can tell you what I try to stay away from. I don't eat a lot of I don't eat a lot of dairy, especially like cheese and stuff. I do eat eggs, but I'm more of an egg white person. Definitely sea moss. That pulls mucus out of your body. So I do that every day. Hi, Danya Goodman. Oh my God, I have all these superstars on my thing. Do you guys know Danya Goodman? He's an amazing producer, and he was like YouTube famous. I don't know if he still is. I don't know if he still does YouTube stuff, but he's a brilliant musician. And he's one of my best friend's husbands and my producer. And I think he likes to sing sometimes too, from the videos I've seen his wife post. So he's awesome. Danye, thank you for joining, sir. Let's see. What's the first thing you recommend is definitely clarifying the tone and supporting the voice and getting the breath consistent. It's not really one thing, right? It's like 5 things that are trying to happen at the same time. Like, what are all the things that we're working on all the time? It's a coordination of sorts, right? You would disagree on the beautiful tone versus pitch. You've always found pitch was easier to teach a person than tone. Who are you disagreeing with? It is easier to teach pitch, but just because you have good pitch doesn't mean you have a beautiful voice. That's what I was saying. Can a singer make their vibrato faster or slower naturally, not through moving the jaw? No. Any manipulation of your vibrato is going to take some tension somewhere. You're adding tension somewhere in order to manipulate your vibrato. I am going to totally forget Esmeralda Barrera Chaupis. I'm totally going to forget your request. Please email delisa@gmail.com if you have reaction video requests, because I'll totally do it. I think I have good tones, so I've heard, but I would love to get a little better. That's good. There's no tone exercise. It's just, I mean, I guess tone exercise, like, I mean, okay, I've said it a million times. The humming stuff, that's a great tone exercise. Anything with is going to be great for clarifying your tone. G is really good, especially if you're doing chest voice and mixed voice stuff. I promise you, the stuff that you think is going to work for you is not the stuff that you would think. You'd be like, what the hell is that? Can you give me something for real, for real? I promise you, what I'm giving you is the for real, for real. Okay, need to teach them IPA. No such thing as vibrato exercises. There's exercises that release tension. And when you release tension, the vibrato sounds. That's just the way that goes. This camera is, it is doing everything I needed to do. Yes, I went vegan-ish for like 4 or 5 months 2 years ago. I liked it. My skin was radiant. I lost like 12 pounds. It was great. I'm not really, I think I just stopped because I didn't want to lose the weight. But that was dumb. That was not a good decision. I should have kept it. I think somebody asked me what's the first thing you recommend. And I was saying it's a combination of things that we work on vocally. It's not like, because I feel like if I were to say, well, work on your pitch, that's not really a vocal thing. That's just musical, right? Like, if you played violin, you should be able to hum along with it and match pitch. So that's not really a vocal thing. I think vocal things are a combination of breath support, releasing tension, vocal placement, and tone and focus of the tone. I think it's always going to be that combination of things that make it work. If you focus on one thing, you're almost always going to add unnecessary tension that down the road is going to have to be undone. Liquor does not help your vocal cords. You love the red hair? Thank you. Liquor actually does the complete opposite. Liquor is like caffeine. It dries out your cords. Things I said, not at all. No, it does not help at all. And yeah, the vegan diet, it was cool. Well, I was vegan-ish. Like I would sneak like one wing a week. And while I was doing it, I also stopped completely eating bread, rice. So no, I just stopped everything. I wasn't even eating quinoa, nothing. I stopped all grains. And that was dumb. Like I shouldn't have done that. Oh, thank you. Is it Johnny? It's just Johnny. Um, Going vegan is not hard. It's not. It's really not. Once you figure out what plant-based foods make you full, you just stick with them. Like for me, beans. I love beans, and beans make me feel full. Mushrooms make me feel full. Well, what foods outside of bread, I'll say, make you feel full? Stick with those. Stick with those and put them in rotation, just like you put meat in rotation. Just keep them in rotation. Seeds make you feel full. So sunflower seeds, like sunflower seeds, Gianni. Okay, Gianni. So I wasn't sure if it was like the Italian pronunciation or not. I didn't want to be extra. So like I'll do smoothies, but then I'll put hemp seeds and chia seeds in them. And both hemp seed and chia seeds are big on protein, and protein makes you feel full. So you put that in your smoothie and you can't even finish your smoothie. You'll be so full. So seeds are great. Or just, if you're reaching for a snack, sunflower seeds are the way to go because they're full of fat and protein. Like, just knowing stuff like that and knowing what is going to curb your appetite, that's really what you got to figure out. Like, okay, yeah, we have the fruits, we have the bananas, we have the oranges, but those don't have no calories. Nuts have calories, beans have calories, a lot like lentils and stuff like that. And you can season beans the way that you would season meat, salt, pepper, onion, garlic, thyme, whatever you would put on a meat, you could put in those beans and make a really filling meal. And that kind of stuff is very good for your voice. I love Pavarotti. Pavarotti was amazing because oh, thank you, Esmeralda. You were classically trained by Mary Slagle from Metropolitan Opera of New York. That's amazing. That's awesome. Who doesn't love Pavarotti? I mean, he was famous for a reason, right? He had this tenor voice. What was he? A dramatic tenor? So he had this tenor voice, but it was big and rich and almost intimidating. Yeah. I think Fantasia is amazing. I think she gets her dues. I think she's great. I mean, she's pretty rich. What? I've never done the cauliflower wings, but I like cauliflower. So I like cauliflower just with salt and pepper and butter on them. So I'm good either way. Yeah. And instead of having rice, you can have like the cauliflower. I think people do cauliflower rice or cauliflower mashed potatoes or something like that. I don't care about none of that. I'll just eat cauliflower the way it is. And I think cauliflower actually has protein in it. Cauliflower, broccoli has protein. So those are the foods that are going to make you feel full as well. I don't really do a lot of condiments. For me, salt, pepper, onion, garlic. Anybody on here know Hi, Mystic Magnification. Hi, Manuel. Speaking of interpretation, I love my gospel singers with the same runs because you prepare a novice to a master based on technique. Yeah, yeah, because some people might have to slow down at certain points where it gets tricky, and the other one would just like pummel through it, right? Okay, I feel like I missed something. What does it mean to have a very distinctive voice? Um, is that a good thing? I think generally having a distinctive voice is a good thing. I think it's generally a good thing. What do you mean alpha and omega runs? Oh, what Kim Burrell said. Somebody else was putting alpha and omega runs. I didn't understand what you meant by that. But yeah, I heard her talk about that. I actually made a video like what, 10 years ago, maybe a little less than 10 years ago, talking about how to do runs. And I was saying, if you know the top note and you know the bottom note, that's the first hurdle. But then the next hurdle is making sure those notes fit in between. So yeah, she was right. Of course she was right, duh. She knows how to do runs. So will I play your song? Oh, I don't really know what you're talking about. Good to hear. I sent an email. Okay, Ariana Grande sings great, but she garbles her words a lot. Yeah. Kim is a nutcase. I was like, I saw that. I was like, she's nuts. Kim is a master level. New runners have to start more simple. Kurt, I guess like how come you don't have a British accent? Who says I don't? I just don't with you guys. I do have a British accent with my family or whatever, but it's like barely there now. I've lived in Georgia for so long around all these Southerners, I'm not really around my family like that, so I don't really use it as much as I used to. I feel her fan base are so hooked on her octaves rather than she's just a lot. What made Diana Ross special? Diana Ross was kind of a chameleon. I think she was just good enough so that she was really moldable. And maybe the other singers in the group already had a sound that if you had them sing, that would just be the sound. But I think that she was kind of an undeveloped singer. So you could kind of mold her into whatever sound you wanted. Sweet potato is life when you're vegan. Oh my God, that's another one. Sweet potatoes, put some salt, pepper, butter, cinnamon. Get your whole life. My song of the month. What have I been listening to? You guys know I listen to weird stuff, right? What have I been listening to? That Butter Boy. Well, it's margarine, but whatever. I be trying to say, like, can I do this without butter today? Just a little bit of butter. That's how I like crackhead. Just a little bit of, I just need a little fat. Just a little fat on just a little bit of fat. I love Gene Moore. I wanna love like you. I wanna love like you. So unconditional, faithful and true. I wanna love like you. I wanna love like you. Show me to love like you do. I love that song. I love, there's this Jamaican song. I spy that you see something in my life. If you overlove me, I feel it. Oops. I thought I knew the song. Ask all your questions. Her name is Layla Ike. Leela Ike, a Jamaican artist. And she's great. Thankful. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, whatever. She's singing in patois. Lila Ike. She's a great Jamaican artist. That's who I play a lot now. Pastor Mod. I've heard of that guy, Thomas. I think I've heard his music, but I haven't really gotten into it yet. I don't really know what do you mean, how should I truly learn a song? We got a whole man of God on here. Apostle Maxwell. Let me see. Yeah, I'm totally into quinoa. Hi, Ariel. That's so cute. Hi, Marquise. I know this red hair, right? That's it. I'm so extra. But I do love Ariel. She is like my favorite. I do believe in a poggio. I do. So you are quinoa? I ate, yes. And now I eat quinoa. How do I tell students? I try to break it up into sections. So instead of them having like trying to just learn the whole thing and then in 1 week come back to me having learned the whole thing, I break it up like, okay, just learn the verse or just learn the verse and the chorus or something like that. I'm so out of practice though. But then again, it is 1:30 in the morning. I shouldn't be too hard on myself. In my own coming of age movie, I know, right? I could play myself at 15. I would love that. Are you kidding me? My own movie? I would so be into that. Great response. I definitely break it up. It's hard to, beans are good for your voice. They give me acid reflux. Well, they're good for my voice. I am not an expert on acid reflux. But when I say it's good for your voice, I mean it doesn't add mucus to your body. And a lot of the issues that we have to do with mucus. But you're right, a lot of them also have to do with acid. So if you have acid reflux issues, then you need to be cognizant of that when you be. We need a documentary. Am I that important, guys? You would watch a documentary on me? Hi, Chihin. I'm sure it's like 1 in the afternoon. Are you in the Philippines, right? They are the same. Operatic singing, well, for women anyway, operatic singing uses head voice. I think operatic singing, they'll just try to use the most forward with the least amount of tension. And when it's the most forward and the least amount of tension, there's a lot of vibrato. So whenever you're adding tension, it pulls away. So my friend Will Greenleaf, called me. Will, he's on here as Sing Will Sing. He's like one of my favorite singers. And he called me. He was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. And he was like, well, would you like to come to the studio? Because my friend is producing Greenleaf and Greenleaf. And I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, I think it's at 9 o'clock. And I was like, whoa. So that's how that happened. And it was a great experience. It was a great experience. And then we ended up shooting the show. It was just awesome. I could be wrong, but I don't think I ever did TV before. It was just so many moving parts because it was a church scene. So it was hundreds of people there and everybody was wearing navy blue. And it was just amazing. Like the hairstylist, I thought I showed up looking good, but the hairstylist was like, okay, let me fix up your hair. And I was like, I thought it was fixed up, but okay, go ahead. But it was cool. I loved it. It was a great experience. It took like 12 hours to do what ended up being like an 8-second clip. You wait around for like 12 hours. I don't know who Grace Brumbury is. What's special about distinctive voices? I mean, all voices matter, but distinctive voices, I mean, I don't know, they're distinctive. They're voices that, you're asking what's special about distinctive voices. Why do we love Mariah Carey? Why do we love Christina Aguilera? Because there's a sound. There's a sound to their voice. That's their signature. What do I recommend for singers who, well, YouTube is a great resource if you find the right people to follow. I recommend that you proceed with caution, because the last thing you want to do is harm, right? Practicing on your own without a coach, you may make some. I honestly recommend, if you can't afford a vocal coach, you still need to find a vocal coach. That's honestly what I think. I think even if you only show up once a month, you need to show up to a vocal teacher so that they can get you back on the right track. Because most likely doing it yourself, you're just not on the right track. I'm not even going to act like you can self-teach yourself. You can't. It's kind of like when you are losing weight and darn well you need a personal trainer and a nutritionist, but you try to do it yourself. And so you try to lose weight for a year, and in a year you've lost 10 pounds. And then as soon as you get a trainer, in the next year you lose 80, because somebody just kind of knew how to steer you. So I'm not even gonna act like you can do this yourself. You can't. I thought I was a great singer when I started voice lessons, and I thought everybody else was dumb. And I've grown leaps and bounds. So I can't. Ooh, ooh, You need me to be your vocal coach because most of these YouTubers, yeah, a lot of them don't talk technically because they're not real teachers. That's just the truth. Every teacher I've had has spoken technically. Everything I say is what I have been taught from other teachers. And unfortunately, most people, especially people on YouTube, do not have degrees in voice. They've never actually formally studied. Most people that have formally studied are not sitting on YouTube. And I distinctly remember when I first started that the singing community, voice teachers, did look down on me for being on YouTube, because they felt like YouTube was a place where people that were not legit were going. But anyway, what my response would be to what? What my response would be for what? You remind me of Kayla. What makes a classical artist would not sound classical when singing other genres, because they would have to add tension, which is why they struggle. It looks like they've been taught to not have tension all this time, that they'll be like, blue sky smiling at me, talking about blue skies. That's all they know. Do I see? They're not just blue sky smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see? Ooh, blue birds singing a song, talking about blue skies all day long, all day long. Anyway, what makes her distinct is her tone. So many people can do a lot of what she does, but what makes her different is her tone. You're asking, is distinct good? But then you bring up Jasmine Sullivan. Obviously, why the reason why we know her name is her tone. So anyway, thank you guys. I am gonna go now. It is 1:38. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Again, if you want voice lessons, you can go to delisa.com. Look out for my videos coming this week. I do have new reaction videos coming. Oh yeah, she has this sad sound, right? Jasmine Sullivan. It's like she has this, it's like this sad sound. It's awesome. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you guys next Sunday. I'll be doing this every Sunday, okay? So help me God. So help me God. I'll be doing this every Sunday evening. Hopefully, I'll start before midnight next time. That was the... What question from... Do you have an opinion on Tina Marie? Personally, I love her, but sometimes you have to take a risk. What do I think of Tina Marie? Isn't her voice like very like... It's like a bird chirping. I think it's a bit much, but it gets the job done, I guess. People be asking me stuff. I don't know why. Why do you guys ask me these things? What do you think I'm going to say? What do you think I think of her? That's the question I always want to know. It just sounds like a parrot. I can't even do it again. I think Janet Jackson is a good singer too. Y'all be setting me up for jokes. Y'all be setting me up for jokes. I sound like Patti LaBelle. You're shady. Patti LaBelle's a better singer than that. I do surprise you guys. I do like Justin Bieber. I like his songs. I mean, he's an R&B artist. I like his songs. And his voice, I mean, why shouldn't I like him? His voice is not offensive to me. It's not offensive. It's just vanilla. I am a lyric soprano. I have nothing to say about Sierra. Technically, I am a lyric soprano, but I think that that doesn't really translate if you hear me sing like chesty gospel. I don't know. I'm a lyric soprano. Delisa, oh my God. Delisa@gmail.com. I have the easiest email address on the planet. Delisa@gmail.com. DILEESA@gmail.com. Eso es todo. Okay, guys. I don't know. I was doing it before I realized what I was doing. Sorry. I think Avery Wilson is amazing. I genuinely do. I think he's a great singer. Do I think he does sometimes a little too much rhymes? Maybe. But who cares? He's a great singer. He can do what he wants. What key was that? I have no idea what key that was. All right. God bless. Oh my gosh. All right. God bless you guys. Bye.